Security scan. Please stand by. Scanning. Do not move. Security scan successful. You now have full access to all files. Welcome to Conspiracies, Inc. With your host, Bryan Dattilo. Do you believe?
I am Bryan Dattilo, and this is Conspiracies, Inc. Thank you for joining us for our very first season of Conspiracies, Inc. as we tackle the alien conspiracy, the alien cover-up, the alien controversy, everything alien we're going to tackle this first season. I'm so excited about this. This is a dream come true for me. Okay, why is a guy like me even doing a podcast like this? I will tell you right now in plain English. Ever since I was little, I've had paranormal experiences that would send the average person into a fetal position, crying for their mommy, which is exactly what I did when I was little. Every time I'd see a ghost, I'd go, Mom, Mom. She'd come in and she'd say, now, Bryan, that's just how it is. You know, people pass on and sometimes you have a very good gift. You can see things. You have dreams that come true. You feel other presence and you need to investigate. You need to research. You need to read up on why this is happening to you. So I started to read up on a lot of books regarding the paranormal, ghosts, aliens, and stuff, just so I can get a better understanding of what I was going through as a young kid. So my mom did work for the National Enquirer. She was one of the first female editors ever at the National Enquirer in Lantana, Florida. They had a real big Christmas tree every year. I used to go there. It was great. But she made a lot of amazing paranormal contacts there. She had a lot of friends that were into, I mean, that's what the National Enquirer was. They were the alien newspaper, basically. And some of those headlines were a little out of control, but that's what was normal for us because my mom was employed by them. And she would say, Bryan, these things are happening to you. You need to understand them. And especially on the alien front, because she had experiences with aliens as well. So fast forward to 1993, I just moved out of my house. I was in Culver City. I just gotten a pretty good gig where I was making some money. So I got to move out and I had a roommate with me too, although he didn't get abducted. But one night I was falling asleep and I actually saw these aliens come into my room. Now, I'm going to stop there because coming up next, we're going to have Yvonne Smith, the leading hypnotherapist regarding alien abduction, and she's actually going to put me under hypnosis. So we're going to actually see together what really happened to me. I definitely know that something happened to me because I remember about 30% of my abduction, but I really want to remember 100% of it. And the only way to do that effectively is to actually be put under hypnosis. I've seen it. I've read it. I know that it works. I don't know if it's going to work with me, but I know that it works as a rule in general. So Yvonne Smith will be in the house. I'm going to ask her a couple questions and make sure I'm in good hands. We're going to get a little background on her. She is one of the best alien abduction hypnotherapists in the business. She's done hundreds of cases. Yes, hundreds of alien abduction cases. I'm not the only one. So I'm going to ask her a couple questions before we get started. You're going to get familiar with her. We're going to see where her background is. And then we're going to dive right into the session. And then we're going to have a wrap up. And I don't know what's going to happen during the session. I don't know what's going to happen after, but I know that we're going to find out together. So join me as we tackle the alien conspiracy, alien abduction. The Conspiracies, Inc. season is being kicked off. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for making my dream come true. Thank you for watching and listening. Hold on to your hats, buckle your seatbelts because it's going down. It's going down. It's on like Donkey Kong. I'm telling you, Yvonne Smith is coming up next, and I can't wait to see what happens, and I'm sure you're pretty excited too, so stay tuned. And now joining me is Yvonne Smith, the leading hypnotherapist in regards to the alien abduction scenario. I am so honored and happy to have her with us today. Here we are. You and I. Thank you for
you.
joining
Oh,
us.
it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This is a dream come true for me, so I'm really excited. We don't know what's going to happen later, but
Right.
for now, why don't we just get a little background on you, how you got involved in this, how long has it been, what made you decide that you wanted to be an alien abduction hypnotherapist? What made you decide to do that for the rest of your life?
I actually went with my mother at the late 80s to go see Bud Hopkins, who was the pioneer, the late Bud Hopkins, who was the pioneer of abduction research.
Okay.
And as I sat there, I didn't know who he was, but my mother knew who he was. And I watched his lecture. He presented his slides with drawings from people who remembered what these aliens looked like, what the craft looked like. I was mesmerized. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but yet I thought, well, these people, they seem, very sincere in what he's presenting is, to me, was, I thought, why would these people lie, and why would he present any of this? This is what I've been specializing in for the last 30 years.
Right. Are there things that I should expect that might happen? Or are there things, should I have a throw-up bucket handy?
I've never had anyone vomit in the middle. I mean, okay, what's going to happen is you will relive what may have happened to you.
Okay.
I use different techniques to get someone through that without feeling pain or fear.
Okay.
What's important is to verbalize everything that's happening. That's what we want to get forward, bring forward. People that were, I have so many people. Some were afraid that they may urinate on themselves.
I thought about that, which here I am in my manager's living room, and sorry guys, put that on the bill.
That was, they were afraid of that. Oh my God, what do I do? And then others are like, what happens if I get sick to my stomach? That's never happened.
Okay.
You're going to be in a deep state of relaxation.
Okay.
And if, say you start feeling anxiety, which you probably will, I will use techniques in my voice to calm you down.
Okay.
I've not lost anyone yet.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Yeah. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Right.
Is there anything afterwards that is usually shocking or hard to digest? What can I expect after? I have no idea what we're going to find out.
What we're going to find, right.
But what is usually the end scenario for the abductee? Is it, I can't believe that happened to me? Or is it, now I understand and I feel better? Is there some resolution? Is there some peace of mind I can expect? Can I expect not to be this teeth grinding sleeper and waking up in the middle of the night and having all these things that are hard for me to, will any of that subside?
All of the above.
Okay. And will I lose any weight? I know my managers want to know that.
Why would you need to lose weight?
I feel like I have stress weight on me.
Held onto.
Yes.
Okay,
and
yeah.
because it's not my natural, I mean, it's 10 whatever pounds or 15 pounds, but it's not my natural weight. I feel like no matter what I do, it's a part of me. As something I'm
holding on to for comfort, for, just taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, before someone is able to get relief from this, they will turn to alcohol. Mm-hmm. They will turn to drugs.
Sure.
A lot of them smoke, because they're afraid to go to sleep. So they medicate.
Sure.
We can't find qualified hypnotherapists to work with throughout the United States. My goal is to get therapists trained so that, we could refer out to other states, because I get emails about someone needs help and I have no one to refer them to.
Sure.
But once a person will find a qualified therapist that's trained in this, the anxiety starts dissipating.
Oh, please.
You'll sleep better.
Oh, man.
You'll probably, stop grinding your teeth. This is not just a one-session thing that we could just go, okay, we got it all.
Right.
That's why I've been working with people who have come to me when I started my practice 30 years ago, and I still see them now. It's my goal first as a therapist to get someone functioning because they come to me with post-traumatic stress disorder
Yes.
symptoms.
For people who want, because I know you said earlier that you wanted, you needed help. It would be nice to have other trainees
Sure.
or people who
Oh,
knew
yeah.
it, knew your techniques and could help you and kind of distribute the responsibility of taking care of the abductees. How would someone get in touch with you who might want to do that? Is there a website that people can communicate with you through?
Yes, I just launched a new website,
Okay.
hypnotherapist, YvonneSmith.com.
Okay.
And there's contact information in there. There's the questionnaires that they could fill out and email back to me, or
Okay.
send me questions. So there's going to be a lot of questions.
And that can be people who are interested in learning how to put people under hypnosis, and people who have had experiences
Oh, yeah.
too could definitely
Yeah.
take advantage of that.
Definitely. So, what other questions do you have?
I think that's it. I think we're ready to dive into the session.
Okay.
And
But we'll go over. I'm going to take some notes about
Yeah.
what you
Prepare me
want
as
to
best you feel.
explore. And then, now, I can't remember. I know we spoke, but have you been hypnotized before?
no.
Okay. So I explain all that to usually people who come to me have never
Right.
been hypnotized. So here, they're really nervous about being hypnotized.
Yeah.
And then we're going into the unknown.
Right.
So, that's like double barrel there. And so I like to dispel all the myths about hypnosis.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll go through all that.
Okay. Well, coming up next, we're looking down the double barrel of that shotgun, and I'm going at it. Next, we'll have Yvonne Smith putting me under hypnosis, so stay tuned for that epic saga coming up next on Conspiracies Inc. I am Bryan Dattilo. This is Conspiracies Inc. Thank you for joining us. And I'm about to be put under hypnosis regarding an alien abduction that I believe happened to me in 1993. Now, I said before that I remember about 40% maybe of the actual abduction, but my goal here is to remember 100% of what happened. I really want to fill in the blanks, and I want to know the truth about what went on that night. So here it comes, me being put under hypnosis for the very first time regarding my alien abduction with the world-renowned Yvonne Smith, the #1 hypnotherapist regarding alien abduction. So hold on to your hats, buckle your seatbelts, because I'm about to go under.
Okay, Bryan. So I want to take some notes about exactly what you want to explore today.
Okay.
The one that you partially remember, what year was that?
1993. I had just moved out of my house, and I had gotten my job in April. My first day of work was April 1st that year. So it would have been early July.
Okay, so tell me what you remember.
I remember going to sleep that night early because I wanted to get sleep for work that I had the next day. I remember laying on my side, because I usually lay on my side when I fall asleep. I was facing the wall to my right. There was a side table with a clock, and I remember the clock about 9:38 at night. And I remember thinking, oh, this is before 10. I'll get a good night's sleep. I'll be able to be fresh for tomorrow at work. This is good.
Okay. So you're laying in bed on your side, and then what is the next thing you remember?
I can't move.
Still on your side?
I'm on my side, and I feel like I'm automatically in a dream right when I close my eyes, similar to an experience I had in the past. But I didn't have enough time to fall asleep, but I was asleep immediately, in a dream state immediately.
Okay.
I looked down my feet because I was laying on my side, and I looked down my feet that was pointing at a window in my fish tank, and I began to see multiple figures outside my window at different heights, and they were hovering outside my window. And I remember thinking, how are they outside my window? There is no place for them to stand because the parking garage was about 10 to 12 feet down.
Mm-hmm.
Once I realized they were outside, they came toward me. They went through the window, through a saltwater fish tank that I had by my window, and materialized in the room with me. They became solid. They became physical at that point to me.
Okay.
Because I did see them go through things, and that threw me. I didn't understand how they were going through the wall, but it resembled like a translucent thing. And then when they were in the room with me, they became not translucent. They were visible.
Okay. Do you remember how many you saw?
I think there was 3 to 4 of them.
Okay.
There was one that was smaller wearing a hood, and he guided me out of my bed.
Okay.
And led me to the other ones. And I remember it being a tight squeeze when I exited the bed because the wall was right there. So I had to kind of maneuver myself sideways to get out of that area. But he definitely was guiding me, but I had no ability to reject moving. I didn't have a desire to reject moving, but I didn't have control of my movement. I was moving without me knowing I was moving or being in control of my movement.
Okay.
I don't remember anything after that. The next thing I remember, I was in a very well-lit, kind of like a cave, but it wasn't a cave. It was like a waiting room. I was sitting at a table, but the table was part of the floor. The table came out from the floor. It wasn't a freestanding table. And I was sitting on a stump that was raised from the floor. So it was one mold. The chair and the table was one mold, and there were other people around me sitting in similar tables staring straight down. And I remember looking to the side thinking, why are they staring straight down? I felt like they were in a trance, but I wasn't anymore. And then I remember a being being presented to me by other beings. So I think there was a toddler being presented to me. He was very apprehensive. He was coming at me with hesitation, and they were encouraging this toddler that was in diapers to walk toward me, but it was very apprehensive. Once the being got close enough to me and wanted to embrace me, I put my arms up to stop it, and I felt its biceps, and I remember feeling the different texture of the skin, seeing the different texture of the skin. It was almost translucent skin where you could view a lot of the inner workings, like veins and such, and muscle tone. I remember this toddler being very toned in the arms, almost too much for a toddler that age. I remember the head coming outside the ears, being dome-shaped, and its eyes being totally black. I'm just getting the goosebumps right now. I'm feeling emotional. And I felt like the being knew I was rejecting it or it was too much for me. And then the other beings that were pushing this being toward me intervened and saw me freaking out. And the next thing I knew, I woke up. I was in my bed. My eyes were open. I could not move. I was struggling to move. And then I freed myself from not moving, And I noticed that I was drenched like I had been swimming, and my underwear wasn't on. They were around my ankles. And I remember looking at the clock thinking that that wasn't the time. This is the wrong time. I felt like time had been missed. I felt like I was only asleep for about 20 minutes, but I looked at the time. It was 6:48 in the morning from 9:38. So that time did go by. I picked up the phone immediately and I called my mom. Something told me to do that, and I did it, and she couldn't get out her story fast enough. We argued over who was going to sell their story first. I won the argument, and I said, this is what happened to me last night of what I remember. And she said, okay, let me tell you what I remember. You came to my door last night. You knocked on my apartment door with a baby. You wanted to come into my house and bring the baby in the house. I wouldn't let you. I told you the baby was not human and the baby had all black eyes. And I said, those are the same eyes I saw. And that was it.
Wow. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking you back, regressing you back to this time and place in 1993.
Okay.
Since you've never been hypnotized before, I'd like to dispel a lot of the myths. You're not going to be blacked out. You're not going to be unconscious. Can't control your mind. You're going to be just in a very deep state of relaxation, because I'm going to be addressing your subconscious, because a lot of information or experiences could be registered in the subconscious that we just don't remember. Mm-hmm. And this is what your goal is to try to bring all these memories up, hidden memories, to fill in those blanks that you've been thinking about for a very long time. You're going to hear me asking you questions. You're going to hear yourself speaking. But there's a form of amnesia that happens in hypnosis, or time distortion. You know, I'll have somebody in hypnosis for an hour and they think only 10 minutes have passed. Okay. Oh, and I'll also ask everyone to pick a favorite place, a place of nature. It could be real or imagined, but if it's a place for you. And when I say, okay, Bryan, go to your place, and when you're there, you feel totally safe and at peace.
Maybe like a forest.
Okay. And then the suggestions. I give you always positive suggestions throughout your hypnosis, and then before I bring you out. And what were the specific, do you have any specific suggestions you want me to suggest to you? I think when we were talking before, you talked about your weight.
It's like a physical and emotional weight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get started. So get yourself nice and comfortable. We're going to go through a progressive relaxation. So the important thing is, Bryan, is just to concentrate on my voice and follow my direction, because you're giving me permission to hypnotize you, giving me permission to be your facilitator. Okay, so let's start now by feeling your breathing. Just feel your chest moving up and down as you're going to allow your breathing to grow deep. Leave everything on the outside for now, all your schedules and responsibility. Just leave them on the outside for now, knowing that we have set aside this special time just for you. And as your breathing grows deeper, just imagine that as you are exhaling, just release any stress or anxiety from your body and from your mind, letting it go. Release all the tension as you exhale. And as you exhale, release any negative feelings, thoughts, or emotions that you may have been feeling or thinking, knowing that it serves no purpose to hold in the negatives. And just release any pain or discomfort within the physical body. Just let it all go as you exhale. And as you inhale, just imagine that you're inhaling all of the relaxation into every part of your body, all the peacefulness and calmness into every muscle, every nerve, every fiber, as you allow all of the tensions to melt away. And as your breathing grows deeper, and as you concentrate only on my voice, just move all of your attention now down to your feet. Begin to feel a deep, heavy relaxation beginning in your toes as it slowly and gently moves down through the nerve endings of your feet down to your heels. As if your feet are being gently massaged with deep relaxation and warmth. And just feel the warmth gently penetrating the ankles and slowly and gently penetrating the calves, enveloping the knees, and slowly and gently spreading throughout the thighs. As your legs feel warm and comfortable, allowing all of the tensions to melt away. And just feel the warmth gently penetrating the hip area, the solar plexus, and the entire chest area. And just feel the warmth gently penetrating the biceps and the elbows, spreading throughout the forearms and the wrists, massaging all the tiny muscles in the hands and massaging each finger. And as you exhale, once again, just release any remainder of stress, tension, or anxiety, letting it go through each fingertip. And as you concentrate on your lower back, just feel the warmth deeply penetrating the lower back area as it slowly and gently saturates the entire back area with deep relaxation and warmth, as if the entire back area is being gently massaged. And just concentrate on all the tiny muscles in your neck area as you feel the warmth penetrating your neck area and slowly and gently saturating the entire scalp area with deep relaxation and warmth, as if the entire scalp area is being gently massaged, and massaging all the tiny muscles in the facial area. Just imagine now a cascading waterfall of relaxation from your head all the way down to your toes. And as I count from 5 down to 0, your body prepares you to become deep, deep asleep with each and every count starting with 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, 1 and 0. You now have arrived in your beautiful forest. Begin now by taking some deep cleansing breaths and surround yourself with all of its beauty and tranquility. And I'll leave you there now for a few moments to just enjoy your place. Okay, Bryan, we're going to be leaving the forest for just a little while. But you can go back there at any time. It is always waiting for you. But for now, you're going to allow yourself to take a trip back in time to a very significant time in your life that you are ready to explore. So as we leave the present time and allow yourself now to gently drift back, drifting back to a time, July of 1993, going back to your apartment in Culver City. Just allow yourself to be back there. Everything around you, all of your surroundings are very familiar. Your mind is very sharp and very clear. Your senses are heightened. And while you're there in your apartment, and as you get in touch with your body, as your body retains memories, just describe now where you are. Describe verbally where you are in your apartment.
I'm in my bed.
Just feel your bed now. Everything is very familiar. And on this particular night, getting ready to go to sleep, are you able to see a clock?
I have a digital clock. It's red.
And what time is it?
9:48.
Okay, now take some deep, deep breaths. And as your senses are heightened, and as your body retains memories, on this particular night, just verbalize anything and everything that comes forward.
I'm not alone anymore.
You're not what?
I'm not alone.
All right, get in touch with that feeling and describe what you are sensing.
I feel like this happened before.
Okay?
Like I almost know what's gonna happen.
Okay, and try not to judge, try not to question. Just verbalize everything that comes forward.
I'm scared. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts. And all of our social media accounts are on Linktree. If there's anyone you'd like us to book or any questions you'd like answered, go to our website at conspiraciesinc.podcast.com.